All right, you guys, let's get going on example 7. So again, when I approach these problems to figure out if I'm going to be using SSS similarity, SAS similarity, or AA similarity, I kind of look what's been given to me in the problem, and that will kind of guide me to know maybe it's going to be one over the other. So usually it's pretty obvious because there's only 3 choices we have and they're all very different. So that should be helpful when you're trying to figure out which similarity postulate will prove that these 2 triangles are similar. Okay, so if I look at my first triangle, I spot 2 angles given to me. So I spot an angle and an angle. Okay, and in the other triangle, I have an angle, and an angle. So I have lots of angles that are given to me in my picture. So I don't know, if I were to guess as to how these 2 triangles would be similar, it's probably going to be the AA similarity, the angle similarity, because the only thing I've been given is angles. So that's the only postulate that we have that only contains angles. So I don't know, I just have a feeling it's going to be AA, but you never know. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the first thing I'm given is that angle N is 60 degrees. Do you guys see an angle that is congruent to angle N in this triangle over here? Exactly, you guys. Angle Q is also 60 degrees. So I can say that angle N is congruent to angle Q. And again, I know that because it was given to me. All right, the next angle I'm given in this example is 40 degrees. So angle MON is 40 degrees. Do you guys spot any other angles that are also 40 degrees in my picture? Exactly, you guys. This one is also 40 degrees, angle QOP. So I also know those 2 are congruent because they were also given to me in my picture. Now, also, you guys, if you look at these 2 angles, do you guys spot the X right here? All right, and the X tells us that these are vertical angles, which tells us also that they should be congruent. Okay, so there's several things that kind of tell me that they're congruent, but they went ahead and gave it to me that they were congruent. So I can also say that angle NOM is congruent to angle QOP. Oh, QOP. Come on, Miss Long. Sorry, guys. Okay. KQOP also because they were given to me. If you want to also write something about how they're vertical angles, you could. You could say, like, by the vertical angle theorem, they're also congruent. So, secretly, they're also congruent by the vertical angle theorem. If you want to include that. Okay, so I have shown that 2 angles in my triangle are congruent. So guess what, you guys? This is enough information to show that the triangles are congruent by the angle-angle similarity theorem. Okay, also, you guys, technically, since I know 2 of my angles are congruent, that the third angle has to be congruent because of the third angle theorem. But remember, we only need to show that 2 angles are congruent to show that they're similar. So mathematicians are super efficient, so if we can show that they're similar with only 2 angles, might as well use it, right? Okay, so I'm going to say now that triangle NOM is similar to triangle. Now let's see here. NOM, I go from 60 degrees to 40 degrees to the one I don't know, which we now know is probably going to be 80 degrees because if these 2 angles are congruent, the third angles are congruent. So secretly, this is 80 degrees if you want to mark that in your picture. Okay, so it's 60 degrees. NOM is 60 degrees to 40 degrees to 80 degrees. So I want to go the same way in my second triangle. So how would I write my second triangle if I wanted to go from 60 degrees to 40 degrees to 80 degrees? Man, you guys are so talented. That would be correct. It would be Q to O to P. So QOP goes 60, 40, 80. So QOP. And they are similar by AA. And don't forget your fancy little tilde for AA, similarity. There you go. Nice job, you guys.